Have you ever watched your cat sleep and wondered what's going on in their head or even in their body? That curled up fluff ball in the corner might not just be taking a nap. Their sleeping position could be telling you something important, something about how they feel physically and emotionally. In fact, your cat's sleeping posture is often one of the clearest signals into their hidden world. Today, we're diving deep into how your cat sleeps and what it reveals about their health, mood, and the bond they share with you. So don't skip a second, because some signs could be more important than they seem at first glance. 1. The crescent curl. Comfort, protection, and instinct. This is probably the most common pose you'll find. Your cat curled into a tight ball, with their tail wrapped around their body and their nose tucked in. It looks adorable, almost like they're folded into themselves. But this isn't just a cute nap. This is instinct at work. In the wild, cats slept like this to keep warm and protect their vital organs from danger. Even your safe, indoor furball has those ancient instincts whispering in their brain. If your cat frequently curls up like this, it usually means they feel secure but alert. They're conserving heat, but they're also ready to spring awake if needed. It's a natural, balanced sleep that shows trust in the environment, with just a hint of guardedness. 2. The side stretch. Deep trust and health check. Now, picture your cat sleeping on their side, completely stretched out, paws limp, belly slightly exposed. This is not a light nap. This is full-blown relaxation. A cat won't sleep like this unless they feel completely safe. In this position, they're vulnerable, which means they trust you and the space they're in. But here's where it gets interesting. This posture can also reveal how your cat feels physically. If a cat usually curls up, but suddenly starts sleeping on their side more often, it may be a sign that their joints or muscles are aching, and this new position eases the discomfort. Watch closely. A small change could be saying more than you think. 3. Belly up, the ultimate sign of love and a possible red flag. Let's talk about one of the most heart-melting positions of all, the belly up sprawl. Your cat lying flat on their back, paws in the air, belly on full display. To a human, it's ridiculously cute. To a cat, it's one of the boldest signs of trust. This is the cat saying, "I'm home, I'm safe, I'm loved." Their most vulnerable area is exposed, and they don't care. That's how much they believe in their bond with you. But here's a twist. If your cat starts doing this suddenly and frequently, it might also be a way to cool off. Some cats do this when they're overheating or even feeling a little unwell. So while it's mostly a good sign, it's still worth paying attention if it becomes a pattern out of nowhere. 4. The loaf. Calm, collected, and watchful. Ever seen your cat with their paws tucked neatly under them, like a fuzzy loaf of bread? This position looks casual and tidy, but it's actually a halfway point between sleep and alertness. When cats loaf, they're not in deep sleep. They're resting while staying mentally engaged with their surroundings. It's a signal of calmness, but not complete relaxation. Emotionally, this often means your cat feels safe but is still keeping an eye on things. If your cat spends most of the day loafing, they might be experiencing low-level anxiety or feeling unsure about changes in their environment. It's subtle, but it's real. 5. The pretzel twist. Flexibility or discomfort. Sometimes, you'll walk in and find your cat lying in a completely bizarre shape, twisted at odd angles, with limbs flopped in different directions. You pause and wonder, how is that even comfortable? This kind of twisted or contorted position often means your cat is a master of relaxation. They feel completely at ease in their environment, enough to let their body flop however it wants. But if they're always sleeping like this, especially if they shift into it abruptly, it might also mean they're trying to avoid pressure on a certain limb or side. In rare cases, it could hint at muscle tension, joint stiffness, or even internal discomfort. That strange-looking nap might be their way of self-adjusting, almost like stretching out a kink in their back. 6. The face plant. Exhaustion or emotional recharge. Ever catch your cat lying with their face completely buried, either in a cushion, their paws, or just smooshed right into the bed? It can look hilarious, even dramatic. But this face down nap actually says a lot. It's a sign of deep emotional recharge. Your cat might have been overstimulated by noise, company, or even you. This position is their way of tuning out the world. It's often seen after playtime or when your cat's had a stressful moment and just needs to disconnect. It's like their version of pulling a blanket over their head and saying, "I need a moment." Give them space, and when they emerge, they'll be more themselves again. 7. Perched napping sleep with one eye open. You've probably seen your cat sitting upright, eyes almost closed, body still, barely moving. But definitely not in deep sleep. This half-sleep posture, where they perch on a windowsill or shelf, is a leftover survival instinct. In the wild, cats needed to nap while staying ready to jump, run, or defend themselves. Even your cozy, domestic furball still holds onto that instinct. Emotionally, this sleeping style shows a mix of confidence and caution. If your cat is new to a space, or there have been recent changes, like a new pet, guest, or noise, they might start doing this more often. It's not a bad thing. It just means they're adjusting. 8. The piled nap bonding and belonging. When cats sleep piled on top of each other, or even you, it's more than just seeking warmth. It's love. This behavior dates back to kittenhood, when warmth and security came from mom and siblings. When cats pile together, they're not just saying, "It's warm here." They're saying, "I feel safe with you. You're my family." So, if your cat loves napping on your chest, shoulder, or curled in the crook of your arm, it's one of the deepest forms of trust. They're claiming you as their safe space. This position is also full of emotional cues. Cats that nap this way often have high emotional intelligence and crave connection, even if they don't always show it during their waking hours. 9. The hidden tuck anxiety or escape. Now let's talk about a posture that might signal concern. If your cat frequently hides their entire body while sleeping, under furniture, deep in closets, behind curtains, it might be a red flag. Yes, cats love quiet, dark spaces, and yes, hiding to nap can be perfectly normal. But when it becomes excessive, especially if it's a new behavior, it could mean they're feeling overwhelmed or unwell. Cats hide when they're scared, stressed, or in pain. This is their instinctive way to stay safe. So if your normally social cat suddenly disappears at nap time, it's time to check their health and their emotional environment. Something could be off, and they're hoping you'll notice. 10. The belly up nap, the ultimate trust fall. If your cat ever sleeps on their back, fully exposing their belly with paws in the air, consider yourself royalty. This is one of the most vulnerable positions a cat can sleep in. That soft, exposed stomach is home to their most delicate organs, and lying this way means your cat feels completely safe in their environment. No danger, no fear, just peace. Emotionally, this is their way of saying, "I trust you with my life." It's rare and beautiful, but don't be fooled. This doesn't always mean they want belly rubs. It's not always an open invitation. In fact, petting the belly when they're not in the mood can startle them and break that moment of trust. So admire from afar, unless they pull your hand toward them gently. That's your green light. 11. Curled with their tail wrapped cozy and content. One of the most common positions is when a cat curls up tightly, with their tail wrapped around their body like a built-in blanket. This posture screams comfort and self-soothing. It's the equivalent of humans pulling a blanket up to their chin and sighing into a deep nap. For cats, this pose helps conserve body heat and makes them feel snug. Emotionally, this usually means they're feeling calm, satisfied, and protected. If your cat is doing this often, especially after meals or play, it's a great sign of routine comfort. They're at peace in their little world, and you're a big part of it. 12. Sleeping next to you, but not on you. Respect and attachment. If your cat chooses to sleep near you, but not directly on your lap or body, it's not a snub. It's actually a sweet gesture of mutual respect. They want to be close to you, to hear your breathing, maybe feel your warmth, but they don't want to disturb you or feel trapped. This kind of sleep behavior is common in emotionally balanced cats. They love you, but they're also independent. If your cat does this consistently, it means they've found their own rhythm with you. You're important to them, but they're also confident enough to hold their space. It's the feline version of, "I love you, but I don't need to cling to you to prove it." The 13. The dead sleep total knockout mode. You might have seen your cat in this mode. Sprawled out, limbs loose, mouth open, sometimes even snoring or twitching slightly. For a moment it's alarming. You may even rush over, thinking, "Are they okay?" But this position usually means they are more than okay. They're completely, utterly, deeply relaxed. This is REM sleep, the deepest kind of rest a cat can get. Emotionally, this shows complete trust in their surroundings. Physically, it's how their body repairs itself. If your cat regularly slips into this deep sleep mode, it's a strong indicator they're not only healthy but emotionally safe too. 14. Sleeping with their back to you, feline loyalty. This might seem odd, but if your cat lies down and turns their back toward you while sleeping, don't take offense. That's actually a major sign of trust. In the wild, cats never turn their backs on potential threats. If they do it around you, they're saying, "I know you're not going to hurt me. I feel secure enough to let my guard down completely." It's the cat's version of loyalty. They're saying, "I've got your back, and I trust you've got mine." It's not avoidance, it's a quiet gesture of confidence in the bond you share. 15. Constantly changing positions, curiosity, or stress. Now, let's talk about the cats who never sleep in the same position twice. One day they're curled in a ball, the next day they're belly up, then suddenly they're hiding under the bed. A lot of variety can mean one of two things: they're curious and playful, or they're unsettled. If your cat is changing sleeping spots and postures frequently throughout the day, especially if paired with things like restlessness, over-grooming, or sudden mood changes, it might signal emotional imbalance or discomfort. But if they seem relaxed and playful, it just means they're experimenting with comfort. Just like we sometimes switch between our bed and the couch,